So good morning everyone. So today we will discuss about another topic that will help us understand the things around us, may it be living or non-living things. We will discuss about taxonomy. Taxonomy is basically like going to our favorite grocery store and finding our snacks or favorite food in their specific area or stations. So before proceeding to our main discussion, let's start first with the definition of taxonomy. So ano nga ba ang taxonomy? Taxonomy is basically the practice of identifying and classifying different organisms into categories. Both living and extinct are classified into distinct groups with other similar organisms with their given scientific name. With that, we have our 8 taxonomic categories, which includes the domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. The broadest category among them is the domain. The domains of life are classified into 3. These are the bacteria, archaea, and eukaryota. Next, I will show you a picture of the hierarchy of biological classification. At the bottom, we have the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species on the top. And now we will proceed to the classifications, which basically the first is the kingdom. The kingdom is divided into 6 kingdoms, which are the animals or animalia, plants or plantae, fungi, protist or protista as some people call it, archaea, and then bacteria. And then next we have the phylum. An example of phyla from the animal kingdom is the Anthropodia, which includes all the insects, spiders, crustaceans, and more. All vertebrate animals belong to one phylum is called Chordata. And then next we have the class. A class is next to the phylum. As mentioned earlier, some classes from the phylum Chordata includes mammals, reptiles, and amphibians. Arthropods also include likes of insects, and then arachnids or arachnids such as spiders, mites, and scorpions. And then also we have next is the order and family. In the order, organisms are placed into the first order and then to family. Using grass as the example here in our presentation, they belong to the order of Poales and the family of Pokeae. I don't know if I mentioned that right, but it's how they classified them into order and family. And then lastly, we have the genus. The genus and then the species of an organism belongs to or how an organism is named or given their scientific name. This is called the binomial nomenclature, and it was invented by Carl Linnaeus, which we will discuss later. For example, here is an example of our taxonomic classification or how we classify each organism. An example here is the human. The domain of human is the eukaryota, the kingdom is Animalia, the phylum is Chordata, the class is Mammalia, the order is Primates, the family is Hominidae, and also the genus is Homo, and then the species is Homo sapiens. And then next we have the easiest way to remember all this classification in one sentence. So I have here the King Philip came over from Germany swimming. If you memorize this one sentence, you will know how the taxonomic categories goes. King is for kingdom, Philip is for phylum, came is for class, over is for order, from is for family, Germany is for genus, and swimming is for species. King Philip came over from Germany swimming. If you keep on saying that, you will remember the classification of taxonomy. And then next we have Carl Linnaeus, who invented the binomial nomenclature, he began to separate organisms into the hierarchical categories. He was the one to start it. He also proposed the Systema Naturae, which he developed, or also the one he called the Hierarchal Categories. It contained 3 kingdoms, 3 classes, 3 orders, genera, and species. We only added 2 categories, which are the domain and phyla. And then the binomial nomenclature is the naming system created by Carl Linnaeus. How do we name an unspecific or a specific organism? With that, the scientific names of all organisms are made from the name of their genus and a specific epithet. For example, here in our presentation, the scientific name given to humans includes their genus Homo, which we had earlier, and the scientific epithet sapiens. When you combine those two, we will create Homo sapiens. Also, scientific names are also written in italics, so remember that. And then, to end our discussion, just a little note. I will read the excerpt. Taxonomy is not a perfect science, and as you will find out, there is a lot of disagreement and uncertainty about the structure of taxonomic classifications. In general, however, taxonomy is a great way to quickly learn about how an organism slots into the tree of life. So, here, as it mentioned, taxonomy is not perfect. It has its flaws, but it is up to us on how we perceive it or how we look upon it. As we grow old, we will also create questions among ourselves of how things work or how living things work in the tree of life. With that, to end our discussion, I am challenging you to watch different kinds of videos about taxonomy because it will help you understand more of the taxonomic categories we discussed earlier. I hope you can watch them so that in the next discussion you will know what taxonomy really is and the point beyond that. And here is the reference I used for this discussion, and I hope you learned something in my simple and short discussion about taxonomy. Thank you very much.